just so you can be clear at the actual World Junior qualifying mark, which is 216, which for vertical jumpers, I don't think it is ideal to have even one more effort than you actually want to have because it takes something out of the legs.
All right, the good news is that he has actually, Romain Beckford has cleared 2.2 meters already this year. So he was not chasing the qualifying standard, he had already qualified. And so perhaps himself and his coach have decided, you know what, we're going to take it and take the series the way we want the series to go, as opposed to chasing the qualifying height.
So the bar now, Bruce, being moved to 2.18 meters, I'm being told.
And I should point out again, viewers, before the competition, before the high jump competition or before the pole vault competition, the entire series of jumps and heights is determined. However, once only one competitor remains in the high jump or in the pole vault, they can determine the height to which they like the bar. So he could have said, all right, the next height may have been scheduled to be 220, but I'm the only jumper, I want it at 280. Or I want it at 222. So the rules allow when only one competitor remains that he or she can indicate what height they would like to attempt. So it's now 2.18. His season's best is 2.20. He did that in Texas. It's also his personal best that he did earlier this year. Romain celebrates his birthday early next month, actually. He's born on the 9th of July, 2002. So still 18, it will be 19 next month.
So I think you'll be going for 2.20 meters. At his first attempt coming up.
And again, he has that right and privilege. He can just declare what height. He could say, move it to the world record height if he wanted at this point.
So correction, the bar is still at 2.18 meters.
And he's taking his time. He has 3 minutes in which to take his attempt, and I encourage him to take all the time he needs. And that time begins after the bar is set. So, they had to reset the bar, move it from the 215 to the 218. So he is our national junior champion, is Romain Beckford in the high jump. For those wondering, he was not at Champs, he's now based overseas. So in case you're saying, so how did he do at Champs? How come Pierre won at Champs? That's because Romain is now overseas. It still appears that you may be getting instructions. Is that the sense that you're getting, Jordan?
Just an update in case viewers wondering what's happening down there, Bruce. They're waiting on a referee to come and verify the height. I'm being told now.
Like the discipline. No, this referee appears to be 1.5 meters tall. Oh, no, the referee in this case seems to be Olive McNaught. So she is a little bit over 1.5 meters. And, oh dear, no, please help her. Olive McNaught, she's a Queen's Pass student. I'm trying to be sensitive to the ladies out there. So she's a Queen's Pass student, that's Olive McNaught, one of our technical IWF certified technical officials here in Jamaica, serving as a field referee. She verifies the 220. That white flag signals that the 3 minutes begins now for Romain Beckford. Olive actually was Olive Deans when she was at Queen's, and was a captain of the Queen's School that won Girls Champs in 1970. What did I say 78? Just because. First attempt at 2 meters at 2.2. A failed attempt, that's his personal best and season best. And I'm going to take my personal best and run off the air gentleman. And I'm going to invite Wolverian extraordinaire, ran on the champs winning team 2010 for Wilmers, Dwayne Extall to step in as Spencer will advise you, the expert analyst.
Yes, and the bar, let me remind the viewers, still at 2.18 meters. That's the official info we're getting from downstairs. And Jordan, when the field events are done with the proper technique, they can be exciting. Coaches are close by, consultancy going on, concentration level up, and remain bent for the local competitor remaining the under 30 boys high jump at the moment, approaching 2.18 meters on his second attempt. So we welcome Dwayne Extall. They're doing the stage, as I said earlier, well set for what should be a sumptuous day of action, especially down in the afternoon segment, going into the evening.
Yeah, Spencer, good morning to you, good morning, Jordan, and good morning to our viewers. And you couldn't have said it any better. You know, the fans all across the world are excited and they're looking forward to what they will be seeing this afternoon. The expectation is sky high, and just like the temperature, things will get hot in the National Stadium when the women come out for what is expected to be one of the fastest 100 meters in the Caribbean ever, with the likes of Chanel Fraser-Price and Elaine Hero headlining that event.
And we were talking about the semi-final lineups earlier, Dwayne. Those big two drawn in the same semi, and then the other semi has Sharita Jackson, Brianna Williams and company.
Yeah, but right now, on screen, that's Romain Bedford. Now attends South Plains Junior College in Texas, the NJCAA champion. Has competed across all the multiple disciplines. You know, he's aiming to become a decathlon athlete, but high jump, yeah, he jumped 220 while at South Plains this year. Ran 7:32 for the 60 meters, 3:55. 3.55 meters in the pole vault, 6:33 in the long jump. His shot put 12.96, discus throw 47.06, javelin throw 55.93, as a score of 4,686 for the heptathlon indoors. That's quite the competitor. You remember him from his day at Buff Bay, winning the high jump and the discus throw within minutes of each other. Great talent, great prospect, and I really hope he sticks with the decathlon. 220 is his best so far this season. Hoping to scale 218.
As we look at Bedford here again,
Yeah, slipped. Yeah, and that tends to happen when you're not 100% sure about your run-up and you just seem to be rushing it just a little. He had time, Bruce had mentioned earlier. You have about 3 minutes between the settling of the bar to get your attempt done. He had time, but didn't use all the time he needed. And tough to see. He's been consistent at 2:15, 2:17, jumped 2:20 back in February 6th at the Arizona State University indoor meet. But since then hasn't been able to get back to that height. Still a junior though. Hopefully his 220 qualification, his 220 mark this year will give the selectors some consideration about taking him to the World Under 20 Championships. as you mentioned earlier, Spencer, when it comes to the technical events, like the high jump and the triple jump, when they're executed with that level of perfection, it makes for a joy to watch. And I remember watching Mutas Barshim in 2010 in Mountain just scaled 2.20 meters like it was nothing. It was superb, it was in superhuman form then, and since then has gone on to win Olympic and world titles for the few men in history that have gone over 2.35 meters. He continues to set the bar even higher after winning the title on home soil in 2019.
Yes, and while you don't expect a country to be dominating pretty much all events, when you look at Jamaica, for example, and this high jump, still a lot of room for improvement in both categories for men and women. What we have to say, after you leave the champs level, it's much tougher at the attack and the regional levels and on the international stage.
Yeah, it certainly does, and I think it being such a technical event, it requires that much more attention. And I really think we expected a lot from the likes of Christoph Bryant, who would have gone on to the World Junior Games to get a bronze medal, I believe it was, and went on to win the NCAA title while at Kansas State. But I think with these events, it takes such a great toll on the body, especially the knees. We have to be pounding week in, week out, in practice, in competition. It makes it that much more difficult for them to sustain themselves over a long period of time. The shelf life for a jumper isn't the same as it is for an elite sprinter. Sometimes a jumper may reach his peak at 25, 26, or her peak at 25, 26, and then the knees start to hurt, the shoulders start to hurt, the joints start to give way.
So coming up on the track shortly will be the 400 meters on the 18 boys. Shot put action is on for girls as well in the under 20 division. Taking their chances with this 9-pound implement now.
The Fabian Foster of Manchester High designed the discus throw yesterday.
The update we're getting, Jordan, is that the shot put competitors are into round 4 of that contest. I'm going to give you what we had after 3 attempts. For the shot put girls under 20. Third place, Alia White at that stage of winners, 11.45 meters. Second, Janelle Gordon, Alpha, 11.96, and leading after 3 rounds. Kayla Davis Edwards of San Diego, 12.89 meters. She did that on her second attempt.
So this now is Alia White of Wolmer's. For her 4th attempt.
Particularly pleased with the effort. Does White, but still a lot of room to improve for our female throwers in the youth level, junior level as well. The world lead, 1765, Pinar Akalova of Turkey. Set that mark back in May. So some room for improvement for our young junior athletes. They've been seeing the exploits of Daniel Thomas Dodd on the world stage, and we'll take some encouragement from that. We're promising young female throwers, Daniel Slowly, now at Clemson, still trying to find her way through the collegiate system, so expecting for another year or 2 to see her competing amongst the seniors for a spot at the World or Olympic Games. Yeah, nice spin in the sector, but not the best of release. Didn't gather enough speed, didn't generate enough speed to move from the back end of the sector to the front. I think now it's for our young athletes a matter of developing more power as they try to improve the technique. One of my preferred techniques, the glide technique, from the back of the sector through the middle. You get a lot out the front, but the one that brings most reward is this technique, the spin technique. Seems to pay greater dividends. Yeah, but just a little out of control there. What Coach Julian Robinson would say, he'd love for you to have reckless control. Yeah, just lazily releases the ball, but the throwers coming back to back here. Nice push, nice effort. That was a solid effort there from Immaculate.
Safia Woolcock of Immaculate, athlete 476.
Yeah, Coach Franz Ford again doing the business there. Still audio. People trying to get some color in terms of sound from our athletes as they execute their events.
So while the shot put is on the under 20 boys, under 18 boys, 400 meters, they're already lining up for heat one. It's going to be the top three in each heat plus the next two best times to move into the next round.
Yeah, so as you can see on the screen, the girls are in the fifth round, but we quickly switch our attention to the boys under 18, 400 meters.
We're told that Mark Miller of Jamaica College has not reported for this, and the Soulful Forbes of Kingston College. So we've got Hay, Dennis, Grant, Smith, and Wilson. The bronze medalist in Class 2 from Champs, Derek Grant, over Fairport Highs. Back in business here, Jordan.
Indeed he is, that's as we see him on screen there. Athlete 404. He'll go in lane 5, Shane Smith of Calabar 6. Here's lane 7 now, that's Shane Wilson of Mustamante High.
Yeah. Derek Grant at 48.15 ranks in number 22 in the world in this event, but the fastest Jamaican, 46.22, Taj Ham. And also he's the second fastest under 18 athlete in the world over this event. Mark Miller, number 10 in the world at 47.35, not here.
And set away for the boys under 18 400 meters. This is one of the two semi-finals. And Derek Grant of Third Court has made some good running over this first 150 meters so far now. Calabar Shane Smith on his outside, being caught up at the moment as they approach 200 meters to run. It's Grant of Third Court who is in control at the moment. On the inside, Dennis of Steps trying to make a push as well. So it's Grant of Third Court. Derek Grant in control as they turn for home. Just saw that Dennis of St. Elizabeth Technical is the mix as well. It's Dennis and Grant neck and neck. Dennis edges ahead now of Grant. They'll be safe. It's a top three who will advance, so it's just not a Dennis of Steps. They get it ahead of Derek Grant of Third Court. Shane Smith of Calabar comes through for third.
Well, 48-47 for Dennis, turns the tables on Grant. Dennis starts at champs, Grant third. But nonetheless, these two qualify for the finals. Dennis sits at number 25 in the world as an under 18 competitor over 400 meters. At his best, 48-28 this season. Running very close to that here with 48-47. Let's congratulate their handshake from Grant. They will meet again though in the final. It's quite an interesting prospect for the boys under 18. Here we see Dennis a few steps behind Grant coming into the home stretch. Grant's such a huge talent from front court. A lot will be expected of him going forward, but Dennis starts to speed on the inside. Grant checks across, top two safe, allows Dennis to go by and take the win. These two into the final safely. Just about how good they've been this season. 48-4s, 48-5s in the first round.
In fact, the top three will automatically move through. So just Shauna Dennis, 48-47, Derry Grant, 48-70, and Shadane Smith, 50-32. Manuel Hay, wait to see what transpires after the second heat.
Yeah, this event at the under 18 level, as you mentioned earlier this week, Spencer, the under 18s competing for a spot at the NACAC Championships. This event, the world leader Justin Braun from the United States, 46.14, set on the 5th of June in Hilliard, Ohio. So, Jamaica with 1, 2, 3 athletes in the top 10 in the world in this event. None of those present so far this morning. I suspect in the next race on track, if Mark Manley is present from Calabar, number 21 in the world at 48.11.
Mark Manley is absent, so we're left with Pinnock, Kennedy, Blake, Green, and Stedman. For Heat 2 for the under 18 boys, 400 meters.
Well, we can look to lane number 3, but on screen, these gentlemen, that's Ravani Green of St. Catherine. Says Spencer, no Mark Manley. And here's what's Shane Blake of St. Elizabeth Technical. Delano Kennedy, Edwin Allen, and Pinnock of St. Diego. So no Mark Manley, but no doubting about the feel that there is still quality. Delano Kennedy, number 28 in the world at 48.32.
So they're away cleanly and running pretty well at the moment. Stats is Blake. So to Aaron Allen's Delano Kennedy, it's Kennedy who is ahead based on the style. Running on the outside to is Ravani Green of St. Catherine. 200-meter mark now. It's Kennedy and Green. Kennedy of Aaron Allen is in the lead, and he will lead them into the home stretch as they come around the curve now. It's Kennedy of Aaron Allen trailed by Green of St. Catherine. Comfortable lead for Delano Kennedy of Aaron Allen. He's going to take the second semi-final easily, and the Green will come through for second. The third on the inside, it looks like Devon Pinnock of St. Diego. Those top three sure of a place in the final. 48.03 for Delano Kennedy.
So 48.03 takes him up to number 20 in the world as an under 18 athlete, and comes to deliver a personal best in the first round. Very easy at this point, having done all the running in the first half of the race. And Kennedy, nice even strides, very relaxed in the shoulders, comes away to get the win ahead of Green of St. Catherine. So making a big move in the world ranking to number 20. Leading Green into the final. So to Pinnock.
Yeah, so 48.03 Kennedy, 49 flat for Green, and the pin-up with 50.25 automatically through.
Blake 50.32, and fourth place from Heat 1. Hay from who was unattached should make it to the final, to the next round. They should advance as well.
Yeah, and there is number 20 in the world now, and an interesting statistic about the under 18 400 meters globally. In the top 100, Jamaica has 14 athletes in the top 100, twice as much as the next best country, which is South Africa and Australia, both. So it's an interesting time for the men's 400, well, for the boys at least, that Jamaica has 14 athletes in the top 100, and quite a few of them were not present today. So,
No, but it still doesn't mean that if they're not present that they won't make the team, because the qualifying time is 47.35.
yeah, and only two athletes, I believe, have gotten to 47.35 faster than that from Jamaica. Well, three: Rashawn Clark of Camperdown, Taj Ham, Homewood, and Mark Anthony Miller, 47.35 on the dot.
And I should also point out as well, Dwayne, that it depends on which of these athletes, by the way, will actually opt to go to the World Under 20 Championship, because some of them might still qualify as, some of them will still qualify as Under 18,
Yeah.
and they can run at the NACAP Under 18 Championship. So,
Yeah, and I suspect, if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to go through the list, but Taj Ham may have
obviously Under 20.
Yes, yeah, so Taj Ham would have opted to compete against the under 20 boys, so he's still, again, number 2 in the world in the event. For his age group, is 46.22 in the semi-final at Champs.
Let me just give the update. Results of the unofficial results under 18 triple jump. Jayla Dawkins and Jago 11.94. She's cut the sand net on her third attempt. And Khadija Bailey from St. Jago retired injured. And in the triple jump under 20 for girls, Akeelia Smith from Edwin Allen 12.47. And ahead of her, Valencia Williams Heidel 12.91 meters.
Yeah, so I spoke about Rashawn Clark also. Remember, he's 400 meter hurdler as well, so I think he'll opt to go for the 400 meter hurdles as opposed to the 400 to give himself a fair chance qualifying for the team.
The next event on the track will be the under 20 boys, 400 meters. We'll have 3 heats, top 2 in each. Plus the two best times will move to the next round.
Yeah, as Spencer, earlier this season, I was at a couple of the Destiny Olympic Series meets, and I wanted a bit more detail about the false starts, because we saw plenty of false starts yesterday. So we had a feature done. Sharon went out and did me a huge favor and got a feature done on how it works with the false starts at National Championship. Have a look.
Ewan Scott, member of the J-Trade Starters Group, operator of the Start Information System, more commonly known as the False Start System. The system we currently use is we now use the electronic gun, which, because of that's the type of gun they use for the international meets, we try to let our athletes be climatized with it and used to it. The problem in previous time was that the athletes normally complain that it's not loud enough. What we have done is to amplify the sound by putting in some more boxes So therefore, we have not gotten any complaints since that. The athletes have been hearing quite clear and are pleased with what is happening with the use of the electronic gun. Basically, it links back to the system. It's, as we say, connect to the boxes. So therefore, when it is fired, it emits a light, and then the sound comes through the boxes. The pros and cons. There's little or no difference. The live gun normally gives a loud bang, which traditionally the athletes are used to. What we have done to eliminate that difference is to put in more speaker boxes and so amplify the sound. So therefore there's little or no difference now with the electronic gun versus the live gun. Some of the issues we have faced with the electronic gun were the feedback from the boxes. We have gotten somebody with expertise with that, and we have changed out some of the cables, etc. And now we have basically eliminated or minimized the feedback that we were getting from the boxes. In terms of why sometimes we use the electronic gun versus the live gun, for one thing, the electronic gun is much cheaper to operate. You don't have to be replenishing bullets, so therefore that's a reduction in terms of our operating costs. What we do use the live gun for a lot of times is like the 1500 meters. Those are races that don't start with the regular 100 meters, 4, 8, and 200 meters. So when we have to go around the bend, like to start the 1500 and so forth, we more go with the live gun. If you look at the 3 Destiny series, when you look at the amount of false starts, it's when it average out, it's nothing above the norm. Sometimes the athletes might be on edge, nervous, because with the system we also have to back it up. Our start information system, where as soon as the athletes come over, look at the reading that is there. I mean, they are satisfied with it, because when the start information system sometimes picks up, it's more than what the naked eye see, because it records the activity with the athletes put on the radar system. So here is the call start from. I know, like from. Right? Then so here, you know, it says SS. Yeah, but I'm not sure what was the reaction time. Look at the pressure is more than so basically that is it now. So the start of the system will come, the confirm, say, and then a decision is made, whether it's the more you right gets a green, so somebody puts the more with one person getting a caution, or whether one person gets so if I know you're very that's why I'm talking to the guy yesterday, because he must still send the team move from the other support person, yeah, because he's saying no, because they told him, Lord will tell him to listen to Lord will say he's editing in the block. So he's going to yes, he is. I allow them to look at the backup system is more without this, you will be operating. And that's why Lord will come down. But you did wrong though. This guy didn't know him. That's not what they said. He won't know when he's not found. That's why I'm saying the sensitivity in the blocks can be an issue, because they're reading. Somebody can start their body movement, however their feet are still on the block. So therefore, they have not actually commenced the start. That's what it is. Because it is possible that when you go backward, because some person are nervous, and the starter will most likely, if you see a lot of movement, will start up the athlete. Because that movement can also trigger we can check, we can with everything that goes with sensitivity. With this, they start decide how sensitive you want a particular in a different light and not seen as the bad guy.
No, and I'm getting very interesting feature there, original the reason for the starters testing his skills with the electronic pistol, and what I took from that, which was Coach 7 doing and Jordan Mr. Ewan Scott said it's actually more cost effective to use the electronic pistol as compared to the manual pistol where you would have to buy new rounds and replenish the rounds. So it's quite interesting. Very nice feature there. Yeah, and what I wanted people to see that it's not just a guess and spell, there's actually a science behind how people are disqualified when a false start occurs. And what you see with the naked eye, and show the system is there, the athletes are able to see the system and see their reaction based on what comes out after the gun is gone. He's one of the under 20 boys for Rangers is coming up now. We have got Chamberlain from Gracie Chamberlain, Membridge. Oh yeah, lanes of 7 are missing and post.
I know, but you can fix it to that. I'm telling you, I can fix it to that.
And I understand that, but I'm saying.
And that's what they're going to do the 100.
What do you mean that's what they're going to do? No. Right. What you're insinuating now is that the starters are going to fix that. No, but you're insinuating that they're going. No. Let us not insinuate that.
Yeah, the world leader in this event, Johnny Blockberger from the United States. 44-71, the only under 20 athletes that is below 45. Second on that list, Justin Robinson, also the United States. The United States having the top 4 times in the world in this event. But this one on screen, Jeremy Bembridge, number 7 in the world at 45.94. Finished second at the Istanbul World Championship on the 15th of May. So, interesting, the top 100 in this event, 35 athletes from the United States, just 9 from Jamaica.
There's Rotomaya from KC, Jeremy Bembridge from Calabar, athlete 26. Here now is Handel Roban, JC. Let's look at Zachary Chamberlain, and the name one is Devon Gracie. So one marks, 6 lanes, 1 to 6 occupied.
Right? And what's
So it's the 400 meters.
You gauge those persons.
So boys under 20.
Because if it's a normal race and Shelley comes out first,
This is
it's going to show that our reaction time
a
takes
semi-final, 1 of 3.
You understand? Because you become a good starter. You're definitely a good starter over the time. So if your sensitive time is better than everybody else, I'm going to say you pick it. That's what
We would start from Jeremy Bembridge at the moment.
But when you have 6 good starters in it, what do you gauge your starting time?
Pretty brisk first 100 meters, and Jeremy Bembridge has already covered the athletes on his outside. He has a sizable advantage at the moment. Van left behind. It's Bembridge to the top curve. Well and truly in command of this race, Jeremy Bembridge of Calabar. He is easy and relaxed as he strides down the home straight now. Is Bembridge of Calabar. Here comes Roban of Jamaica College finishing fast. Bembridge is totally in control. Shuts it off. Set through the line now. 47.38.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they react to
47.37. Officially.
Okay. No?
Yeah, so Bembridge, 47-37, looks very easy, comfortable. I like how effortlessly he managed this first round. I think some sanitization there. The man that sits at number 7 in the world, one of 7 athletes who have gone below 46 seconds as an under 20. And Roban comes back to 47.57, waiting for the official results though. Roban offset Vincent sits at number 87 in the world at 47.50.
So, an easy Friday morning stroll for Jeremy Bembridge, and I think he ran that semi-final the way you want to run in the preliminaries as we take a look at in the second semi-final now.
That's Shimar Utah. of Kingston College. And boys champs getting a personal best of 46.80 in the semi-final. So Bembridge 47.37, Roban 47.52, top two automatic qualifiers. But interestingly enough, Spencer, Kevon Goldson is actually who will advance. Roban's from St. Vincent and Rotima from Uganda won't advance to the final. Just a quick update on the shot put under 20 girls, the outcome. Taking the top spot there, Kayla Davis. That's Kayla Davis Edwards of St. Jago. The bronze medalist from the Class 1 event champs. She did 12.67 meters there. Now she threw 12.95 meters earlier in her final attempt to win. Jeanette Gordon Alpha 12.43 second. Alia White Wimmers, she threw 12.26 meters for third. So in this heat now we have got Roy Miller, Ruben, Mikhail, Ham, Hooter, Smith, Collington, and Campbell.
Nobody in lanes 2, 6, and 7, so no Ruben, no Smith, no Collington. Let's look at Shamar Hutto, sporting purple and white now of Kingston College. That's Tash Ham of Homer Technical. Najee McKeel, Port Antonio, top man from the Eastern Championships. There's Herbert Morrison. William Miller, lane 1. The Eagle on the outside, Ruben Campbell. Athlete I like in this one, Tash Ham of Homewood. Also had a good boys championships as well.
Said.
So, who gets the best start? Tash Ham is running best of all at the moment, and he's taken it out pretty briskly, already gone by Shamar Hutto over the first 100 meters, taking aim now to the Excelsior Eagle, Ruel Campbell on the very outside. Ham is smooth and in control. Hutto left behind now. He's going to have some work to do over this last 150 meters. It's Tash Ham of Homewood who will lead them into the home stretch. So Tash Ham of Homewood, Shamar Hutto of Kingston College, the top two at the moment, and they are safe. Excelsior's Ruel Campbell on the outside, getting into a third position, but it's Ham who will get into top spot. Hutto for the second automatic qualifying spot, and the Campbell, who is in third, is not a shorter place because it's the top two who automatically qualify. Tash Ham, your winner, 48.11. Yeah, so number 13 in the world at under 20, number 2 in the world at under 18, Tash Ham. Expected more of himself at the Boys and Girls Championship this year, but nonetheless has his eyes set on Nairobi, Kenya, and the NACA Under 18 Championships has steadily improved over the past couple of seasons. Expecting to see great things from him. 48.14 in 2019, 47.49 in 2020, now 2021, 46.22.
Alrighty, Tash Ham 48.11 and Shamar Hutto 48.40. The automatic qualifiers for the next round. Sitting and waiting, Royal Campbell 48.64 as we await the third and the final heat for the under 20 boys in this one lap contest.
Yeah, I like that race just now from Tash Ham. Looked very comfortable.
Yeah, I think I like how Bembridge and Ham decided to go about there, but it's preliminary semi-finals because of how it's set up as we take a look at the third one now. Jaheem Jadu, Jamaica College, Emil Gordon, Bustamante, Devontae Haywood, Recees, Revon Williams, JC, Antonio Hansen, Excelsior, Malachi Johnson, also of Excelsior, Devil Fullerton.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but we can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
The J3A Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships, brought to you by
Slow service not keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more detail.
Yep. Antonio Hansen, a part of that big Excelsior 4x4 team.
That's the Revon Williams of Jamaica College. Devontae Haywood of Seas.
Set.
And no problems at the start for this one either, so it's the third semi-final of the boys under 400 meters, and running pretty well at the moment is Devontae Haywood of Overseas. Also in the middle of the track, Hansen of Excelsior doing well at the moment, Malachi Johnson as well, so the two Excelsior Eagles are in good position at the moment, Johnson and Hansen, and Haywood trying to get back to them, so too. So Malachi Johnson and Antonio Hansen of Excelsior. There's Revon Williams now of Jamaica College with a slight advantage. It's Williams of Jamaica College and Malachi Johnson of Excelsior second, Hansen third. Keep an eye on Haywood of Overseas fourth as well, because as Dwayne told you, the winner here, Revon Williams, 47.39, is not Jamaican, so he will not make progress beyond the first round.
Yeah, so Revon Williams taking this section. Has had a steady season so far this year. You look at the results of section number 3.
Yeah, 47.46 for Malachi Johnson, the top Jamaican, 48.15 for Hansen, Haywood 49.84 in third, as far as Jamaicans are concerned.
Yeah, so that may have been a new personal best for Malachi Johnson. Most definitely his fastest time since 2018. So 47.46 personal best for Malachi. Bettering his 47.48 set on the 3rd of March in 2018. Hansen 48.16 in third.
So that takes care of the under 20 boys, 400 meters. Got some more field events to come. And then on the track next will be the 1500 meters for under 17 girls. That's slated for 10:30. Maybe small lineup will be there, just 5 athletes listed. There's another update as well for the, what we gave you earlier, the shot put under 20 girls. Won there by Kayla Davis-Edwards of St. Jago, 12.95 meters on her final attempt. Finishing second, Janelle Gordon Alpha, 12.43 meters. And in third, Alia White Wilmers, 12.26 meters.
Yeah, so getting ready for the next set of events here at the National Stadium. We've seen some good running so far by the junior and youth men in the 400. we said we're expecting to field a strong team to the NACAC and the World Under 20 Championships.
Dwayne, you spoke about the juniors, and yesterday Jordan and myself we were having a chat with Michael Carr, the head coach at Women's Girls. Said he's there now for what, Jordan? 37, 38 years?
Yeah, just about.
That's a mighty, mighty long time. Back in the days, he spent 6 years at St. Andrew High. That's what you call commitment to be at a school for 30 odd years. So he was saying, Dwayne, that of course he has keen interest in the juniors. He's one of the coaches who has been working at the weekend camps. I think there's had 3 camps so far. And he said those were recommended to the J3s, which accepted and gave approval, etc. But he said they got the opportunity to really fine-tune some aspects of the preparation and look at the athletes closer. In previous years, we would name a squad after the trials, and then it's straight on to the global event. But he says in the camp setting now, coaches are given different assignments, and you get to look at the athletes to see who probably would have improved or where there's room for improvement, who would have regressed or slacked off a bit after champs. So he was saying how vital these camps came in at this critical junction.
Yeah, Coach Michael Carr has been on plenty junior teams in the past. I remember he was on the team with me going to multiple Caribbean Games, the World Youth Championships in the Czech Republic, and if I'm not mistaken, the World Junior Championships in 2010 in Moncton. So he's been around for quite some time, so he knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes down to these camps. I remember, I think we had a camp after the national trials in 2010 out by GC Foster, and it really helped. It helped the team spirit, it helped the camaraderie, but also helped the performances. A lot of athletes would have been, as you said, would have slacked off after championships and not being consistent. But these weekend camps have really helped us, and I think the list that I've seen with the athletes that are in camp has really done a great deal of justice. Look at Taj Ham, still consistent. Look at Shamar Utah, part of that camp as well. You think about Boaji Nkrumah, he's one of the names I saw on the list. So just looking at these athletes and how consistent they've been, the Clayton twins, they have kept that level of performance from champs a month ago to now at the National Junior Championships, that it will help us next month for the World Under 20 Games at the NACAR Championships.
Quite so, and he was very much impressed with pretty much all those who were in camp and who were in action on yesterday's opening day. He said the boys stayed at Jamaica College and the girls camped at UTEC, so he felt a lot was achieved. Yeah.
No, I was just about to say that the interesting point you made there, Dwayne, is that, and I think one thing that we have to remember is that a number of the athletes who we see perform well at champs year after year, their coaches don't necessarily continue coaching after champs. Yeah. And you have to remember some of the arrangements that some of these coaches have with the school. So some of them may not even be employed with the school itself. Yeah, so they're coaches, and their arrangement is to coach you until champs. So they have no obligation to continue coaching you afterwards. So sometimes, we see the athletes and we say, how come they fall off so badly after champs? They've literally stopped training. Yeah. Some of them are focusing on exams and so on. So that's why we usually see that. So that is why these camps are so important.
But I think this year really gave us the blueprint about how we should approach the track and field season for our junior athletes. Because if you think about it, the coaches would be they'll be employed, so to speak, for a time period of August last year to March. And then the next competition, they have the Caribbean Games and the Penn Relays in April. After that, it's a long layoff between April and June for the National Championships, and then for July, the World Championships. So now this year, the champs being in May, the National Championships in June, the World Under 20 in July, that is the window where they should be considering that the champs preparation needs to be moved, and champs needs to move from March to May.
I thought about it. The only reservation I have is exams. Yeah. Because you want to give the students enough time in between when they have their competition to be able to prepare for the exams. And exams are generally about by the middle towards the end of May.
When they start April, I think the first round exams start in April with the physical education. They start in April, and then the Spanish, they start their oral examinations in April. But my thing is this:
you don't need to start preparing for exams
For
after
sure,
champs.
sure.
You start preparing for exams before
Get
champs.
your
Well, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame if we're going to talk about that. But also, what it would also mean is that,
But
which
then
I don't have a problem with that.
We went to the same school, so
No, but the thing about it is that it would also mean that you would compete at the current championship, Spencer, at the 10 relays and so on and so forth before champs, which might not be a bad thing. I'm not saying no. But you know, it's just those things would remain where they are in the calendar, and then
that's answers to your question. I guess it would come down to time management, and as Dwayne said, Jordan, remember the exam preparation starts from around about third form. Yeah, so the chefs in third and fourth form start doing exams. No, it's when you get to fifth form and sixth form, you're just polishing off, fine tuning. But it's at the end of the day, it's those who manage the time well. Take that strategic approach. But based on what we saw from champs this year, not only the date, but in terms of the schedule, there has been so much talk that really we should look, the authorities should look to take some elements or a lot of the elements from it moving forward. This pandemic has brought about some negatives, it has brought about some positives, it has brought about a sense of understanding regarding certain scenarios, how we can move forward, how we can do certain things, how we can multitask with certain scenarios. So let's see what ISA will take from this year's Stadium of Champs going forward. I know they're meeting with the technical committee, they're consulting coaches, so let's see what they will take from it.
Yeah, someone once said, you never waste a good crisis. And in a time like this, crisis creates opportunity, and a grand opportunity has been presented to the people. And a grand opportunity has been presented to the people of Jamaica, the sporting authorities of Jamaica, especially for track and field. I'm not sure about the other sports, but for track and field for sure, it has now presented a way for us to save our legacy in track and field and protect our young athletes, our young student athletes as they continue to strive for their ambitions to become Olympians and world champions.
Let me just remind our viewers, I enjoy shopping and proactive lifestyle.
They have a very, very wide range of products here.
I found products to be very effective. The products here are legit. They are good.
I testimony is that these products work. Oh my goodness. I shop with proactive. This is where I shop.
The customer service here is amazing. Oh my gosh, you need to be here. This is the place. You have everything here for you.
Thank you, proactive. Proactive lifestyle all the time.
The JAAA Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships, brought to you by
Slow service not heat. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more details. Digicel, better together.
And so are you?
Not too bad.
Listen, good to see you, Jordan. And if you were Lawrence will join us, and Bernardo will join us in just a second. As we welcome you to, this is what, day 2, the morning session. Beautiful sunshine here at the National Stadium. Had some bad weather yesterday for a couple of hours. Hopefully that won't happen today. They had to actually pause the long jump on the 17, boys long jump on the 17, because the rain was not only heavy, but was kind of swirling also, which certainly wouldn't help the jumpers. I mean, I suspect the athletes on the track probably could have gone on a little bit longer, but it wouldn't help the jumpers, Jordan.
It wouldn't. There was no action on the track at the time, so at least it didn't affect anything there. The javelin was slated to have gone ahead at that time and was delayed just a touch, but we're back on track now with the girls in the 1500 meters in under 18s, and we're going to take you through that, of course, 3 and 3/4 laps around the track. Serena Douglas of St. Catherine was listed. Not sure if she's out there. Eden Islands, Rakisha Sims is there. Yuvia Bennett of Stets. Home Technicals, Jodie Ann Mitchell. And Sean Walters of St. Mary High. So 4 of the 5 who were listed are there. No Serena Douglas of St. Catherine. It is Sean Walters of St. Mary who leads at the moment.
Yeah, the best placed Jamaican on the world list, Rakisha Sims, with 4:36.62. set of champs sits just outside the top 100. An event that is led by Amy Punnage of Australia, 4:14.62. Australia is having the top 2 times in the event.
Yeah, so the World Junior qualifying doing 4 minutes 28 flat. So these young ladies should have that in the back of their mind as they go around the track 3 3/4 times. It's Walters of St. Mary High who continues to lead. It is Rakisha Sims of Edinburgh in second. It's Julian Mitchell now of Homewood, just shoulder to shoulder with Yuvia Bennett of Stets. So Walters leads them.
Yeah, so Walters, St. Mary, the Eastern champion. Sims keeping close watch in second. Bennett of Celestial Technical there as well. Jody and Mitchell closely bunched in fourth with 2 laps to go.
So Walters continues to lead pretty gentle pace at the moment. None of these athletes extending themselves quite yet. And Eden Allen's Rakisha Sims is quite content with just staying right on the shoulder of Walters at the moment. The other two, Jody and Mitchell and Yuvia Bennett of Stets. Bennett of Stets, Mitchell of Homewood. Again, it's all friendly here, Dwayne.
Yeah, almost pedestrian the pace. You look at the top list across the world, the United States and the Australians in the top 100, 12 and 10 respectively, and only one Jamaican even close to the top, and that's Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen. And if she wants to get to that 4:28 or close, she'd have to pick up the pace now because they just have over a lap to go in this event.
Yeah, so Sean Walters at 7:41, St. Mary High is still the leader. Sims, though, boys into make up his birthday. Get to the middle lap now. Sims goes ahead. Here comes Johnny and Mitchell of Homewood Technical as well. They've quickened it just a bit, so much so that they've left Yuvia Bennett of Stets behind. So Sims of Eden Allen and Jody and Mitchell 1 and 2 as they go up the backstretch for the final time.
Yeah. So, as we expected, the running has started with just over 250 meters to go. Sims of Eden Allen starts to sprint. Walters senses the danger, goes with her. Mitchell trying to hang on, but it's all Rakisha Sims and Sean Walters with over 150 meters left.
So, Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen still in control. Here comes Sean Walters. Jody and Mitchell begins to tire. She's left back in third, but it's Sims and Walters. Sims finds another gear. Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen begins to stretch that advantage now. She won't be caught. Walters will have to settle for second. Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen is going to come through at 4:48.49, the flash time. Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen 1, Sean Walters of St. Mary High 2, Julian Mitchell of Home Technicals 3.
Yeah, just 12 seconds slower than her fastest time this season, and not the best measured race at 4:48.55. Has gone 4:36.62, and just coming across the line now is Yuvia Bennett of St. Elizabeth Technical. But no doubting about the national under 18 champion, Rakisha Sims of Eden Allen. Walks away briskly, walks away strongly. Still so much work to be done in our middle and long distances. We expect to see faster times as the world continues to speed away. Reminder, the world under 20 best this event, set by a lady from Australia, actually from Ethiopia. Ribi Wetesh set in Hangelo on the 8th of June. 3:58.93.
4:48.55 for Sims. Walters 4:49.77. Mitchell 4:57.66. Interestingly, the next event has one athlete, Daniel Wallace from St. Elizabeth. Interesting to see him run 1,500 all by himself.
If your service looks like this, it's time to switch. Slow service now keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Speed over to Digicel and get a 30-day Prime one with unlimited YouTube, social media, and end-use data. Plus, get enough more data to enjoy more of the movies, music, and sports you want with your Digicel lifestyle apps. If you're on the go, you can't afford to be slow. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network and keep your number. Visit a Digicel store today or message us at Digicel Jamaica on social for more details. Digicel, better together.
The JAAA Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. Brought to you by
Slow service now keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more details. Digicel, better together.
For all 4 days, we go on to Sunday. We end just before midday on Sunday because of curfew hours here in Jamaica. And that's at 2 o'clock, so everyone has to get inside by 2 and we behave ourselves. We're obedient. So if they say go in, we go in. Morning, Gilbert.
Good morning, and great to be here. Literally great to be here. This one, another one that almost didn't happen, and the power of sport in this country, and track and field in particular, behoves us to be on our best behavior so more sport can take place.
What are we looking forward to today? I know we have a full day, but what are we looking forward to?
Well, if you're a sprint fan, and that covers 5.7 million Jamaicans, half here, the rest elsewhere in the world, you're looking forward to tonight to the women's 100 meters. Big sprinting last night. Sub-11s like dirt. Number 57 for Shellen Fraser-Price in the 100 in her heat, looking oh so easy. The defending Olympic champion, looking majestic as she does, which is in top form. And the young girl, Brianna Williams, the best young sprinter on this planet, original champion 2018. The last time they had it, she did a double to follow a double done in 2000 by Veronica Campbell-Brown. She also right on the money, 11 flat. So a big 100 tonight, and of course the sprinter would be king, Johan Blake. Brilliant.
You might go for you.
10.03 off the gas at 75 meters. So both those big sprints tonight bring the evening to.
You might how could you?
You missed out the 1091.
6:25 for the women. This is 100 meters. 6:45 for
How
the men.
could you, Hubert?
Final ends.
You need a write-up.
Tonight, 7:55. For the women and 15 for the men. Bernardo is not on the spot. So I shall put it on the spot right away. We're not even to the semis here. Who's going to win? 1, 2, 3 in 100 for women.
That's a big one.
I know. This is what I asked.
Good morning, Neville Bill. Good morning, Hubert Lawrence. Good morning to everyone who is tuning in here. But I'm going to go with Shelley and Fraser-Price for the victory, Elaine Thompson for second place, and third, based on what I've seen last evening, I'm going to go with Sharika Jackson for third.
Oh.
I think 10.91 for Sharika Jackson did run all the way, and knowing Stephen Francis, he will not put a Sharika Jackson 100 meter if he didn't think that she can finish top 3. This is a high jump though.
You're going to get the facts and figures about the high jump in just a second. Again, welcome everyone. We go, as you heard, the last race will be 8:15. And I was going to say it starts at 8:15, but it probably will end at 8:15.
Probably end at 8:15.
At 15 and some seconds, so we get out of here then.
Yeah. By the way, 2 Kingston College athletes in this one, Aaron Thomas and Aaron McKenzie, both Aarons. Now this is a first attempt for McKenzie.
Yes, tall and lean, lovely high jump build. This is the event upon which the KC return to prominence was built. Coach Calvin Lewis and the crew, he's sportsmaster back then, late 1990s to 2000, built them up on jumps and throws with Michael Vassell there as well. And looks like Casey working on another revival in the high jump.
This now looks to be Brandon Pottinger for his first attempt at a meter 50, just clipping the bars here. Pottinger at his best over 2 meters, 205. He's, I believe, from Florida, Hubert Lawrence.
There's a little bit of a pipeline going. Brianna Williams, Damian Thomas, World Junior Champion, NCAA Indoor Champion this year. I think people are beginning to understand that wherever you are, once you say black, green, and gold, you can come. We want you to be part of us. And I think our pipeline is beginning to grow. There's Chance Sawyers, who is just finishing school now at University of Florida, third in the World Junior Championships at 400 in 2018, behind Chris Taylor, Jamaica, and the winner, Jonathan Socorro, Belgium. So now we're beginning to amass the forces on every border because Jamaicans everywhere are telling their children, even some not born in Jamaica, that if you want it under this flag, come.
Yep. The bar now at 2.00 for some reason. We're not at champs, folks, but for some reason, when I saw the last high jump, I remember the women's athlete Christoph Brian, 3-1, looked to the KC crowd and gave them a sign as if they say, well, I just finished off.
I talked to him a little bit, and he said they were giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
He was a little bit nervous, the pressure.
You remember,
but a fantastic jumper, Christoph Bryan, went on to become NCAA champion at Kansas State, has had some injuries, transferred to Florida State, and I believe he's just trying to get his body right to come back to the sport. So he and Jaheel Hyde, I proclaimed them then, I say it again now, 2 boys with no limits. Just have to get it right.
Pottinger again, going to be his first attempt at 2 meters, the height now. And almost went clear there. The height was there, just clipped it with the buttocks, the glutes, while coming down or maybe going over, but has shown that based on that jump alone that he probably hit over 2 meters.
Here's Mackenzie, and of course, Isaac Newton always wins. Gravity always pulls you down, so you've got to get your run right, so you're at the peak of your height on top of the bar.
Mackenzie, Class 2 champion, won at Class 2 at 2 meters 01 at its best, round about 2 meters 5. But here he is from Kingston College. Was up at 2 meters and just clips it with the heels.
A little bit direct to the bar. You want to have a J turn, and as you make the turn, you turn your back to the bar and then make the clearance. He doesn't quite do that and is finding himself at this height some difficulty.
I'm going to give you a couple seconds, Hubert, even though you don't need it. I know there's one athlete that got a medical exemption and some other athletes who are not here, which is what I want you to tell me when you get a second to talk about that, who could be here that could end up on a Jamaica team, because I know some have pulled out for injuries for whatever reason, and you already explained 1, 2, 3 in the world, which is why we have a medical exemption. But there are some other athletes here that could very well make the Jamaica team.
Pottinger for his second attempt at 2 meters. Here he is, goes over with some spins, just clipped it maybe with the legs there.
Slow down as he made the turn, and you want to keep his speed constant so you don't cut your momentum, but because he slowed down, he narrowed the margin for error, and a little brush out the bar, but no style points in high jump, only clearances.
I said earlier there's just one athlete in the 1500 meter, and now told that they're going to merge the boys under 18 and the boys under 20. So we won't end up with just one athlete going around the track.
Two of those key ones, Burtis, and here's Mackenzie, and then look at his attempt.
Second attempt, he goes clear with some distance as well.
Just muscles it, still running almost straight to the bar, sharp left-hand turn into where the bar is, and because he can muscle his way past, he just does it like that, and Batman up the bar, just goes over very easily. But Janelle Smith in the finals in Doha in the 100 meters, NACAC 100 champion a couple of years back, beat Shelley Fraser-Price one of in Toronto. She's not here. That's a big loss for the Jamaican team. Both in the individual event, though we have adequate replacement it seems from last night, but also on the 4x1, gold medal for by one in the third leg. Rochelle Clayton, big win 2019, bronze in the World Championships. She's not here. That's a medical exemption.
Right.
A couple guys whom you know, not here together for the first time in a long time. No Usain Bolt. No Mustafa Power. 97 sub-10s.
What's going on with Mustafa? I know Usain has retired.
Came out training, but has had just wear and tear. When you're at 97 sub-10s, I mean, this is monumental.
Yeah.
3 Olympic finals, 2 world bronzes, Commonwealth champion, Diamond League champion, sub-9 to Stone Dog. I mean, it's just monumental what a soccer ball has done. And at some point, the system just can't go. So, great man, miss him, but time does that to all of us.
2.03, the height of the bar now. So it's really just Rochelle and
Smith, who were in finals in Doha, who are substantial, who have this medical exemption so far, that we know about so far.
What about replacements for those, if you want to call them replacements?
In the 100 meters for women, very, very strong. 4 hurdles, this is the world bronze medalist. We have a nice field building with Rhonda White at 54.29, but maybe we'll miss Rochelle here. If she's okay for the Olympic Games, then that's fine. If you miss her here, you miss her from the races here. But if she's fine and fit, here is Spartan Joe.
Goes clear at 2 meters 03.
Again, slowing down on the turn, and that costs momentum, and again, a wobbly clearance. If you miss Rochelle Clayton here,
but she didn't get a medical exemption, so how can she still end up?
She is top 3 in the world by some measure in the last season. That's how the rule was designed to.
I know, but I didn't hear that she got a medical exemption. How are you telling me?
This is my thought of it. Let's run that through.
Yeah.
Because if she's not here, then that may hurt you in the 4 hurdles, right? Because she's high quality.
And Mackenzie going clear there at 2 meters 03 on his first attempt. So both these athletes are pretty much 206.
Yeah.
The bar will move to no. I'm looking at the marker downstairs at 2 meters 3. So I reckon it will go to 2 meters 06 now. And just looking, I remember last evening we spoke about the women's 400 meter hurdles. We should have had the semi-final round. We were told that it's a straight final. And just looking through the list there, LaShawna Graham, Kamisha Chambers, Liam Nugent, Jennifer Russell, Rhonda White, Shine Sama, Nikita Tracy, Davika Tagarasa. So no resting on a Tracy, or resting on a Bailey Cole, who was slowly trying to come back into form. Saw her a couple weeks ago at the Destiny Series running the 400 meter hurdles, and just didn't look as if she was in shape. So that is understandable. So Kemar Bailey Cole pulls out, saying that he's not ready, doesn't feel as if he's ready to take on this massive challenge. Ristinada Bailey Cole also out of the championship.
Yeah, tough. 53.74 for bronze in 2017. And 53.74 for bronze in 2019. Rochelle Clayton, same event, same country, Jamaica. 3 Olympic finalists in 2016. World Junior silver medalist, Shian Salmon, she's here.
Martin J.K. Harman Trinity. Hasn't had the height there, but just came down flat on the bar.
Well, we had the shot put under 18 for girls after 3 attempts in third. Britannia Johnson from Camperdown, 14.05. Brittany Johnson from Camperdown, 13.46 is in second. And nope, Britannia's in first. Brittany is in second, and third is Rochelle Solomon from Edwin Island, 13.20. Just giving you an update there as we continue to watch the high jump.
I think Renato Brown is nicknamed Tina and Tia Click the Tweed Turbos from Edwin Island. These are the Tweed Towers from Camperdown. They are both medalists at champs in the class 2 throws. When you see them, you'll understand. Bent at the discus and the shot put, and 2 fine prospects there. Coach Stewart
and Britannia.
2 fine prospects there. Coach Stewart working hard, and as we mentioned him, he coaches Rochelle Clayton at the Swept Track Club at Ewing.
Just looking across at the shot put here, wondering if those are the Jamaicans who are involved in the shot put. I knew Jamara Alves from Grenada was listed to contest in the Class 2 shot put champion. Just looking, not sure I'm seeing her from St. Jago. The twins from Capital. Super said probably back at the discus throw event.
Sir Raven Williams of JC in the 400, he of course Guyanese, and then Ruben of JC, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Here's Mackenzie once more, goes clear on his first attempt at 2 meters 06. So the fact that Pottinger failed at his first attempt at 2 meters 06 and Mackenzie goes clear on his first attempt puts Mackenzie in the lead.
Looks like they're going to have difficulties as the bar goes up. Both of them could do with some work on their approach runs, and as you get higher, those flaws tend to become more significant. But, you know, again, no style points in the high jump. Once you clear, you score.
And for Pottinger, this would be probably I want to say foreign height if he gets clear. But his last 4 competitions, he has won his last 4 competitions, but his best performance has been 1 meter 97 in all of that.
Yep, absolutely. It's all called peaking. He's found a way to marshal his season so that he is jumping his best at the time that counts the most. He wants to be in Nairobi in August for the World Juniors, and now this is the time to do it.
I think you told us yesterday he's coached by his dad, right?
I'm not sure he is. This is Marlon Pottinger's son.
Yeah.
Right. So former KC Sprint of the 1980s, Marlon Pottinger, has this young man, again, just like we talked about this top of the show, their fathers tell them that the place to be is Jamaica, and here he is.
Second attempt at 2 meters 06, and again takes the bar.
I'm told that he has a personal best of 208.
Had a note from Tweetsman Atkinson, former star thrower for Calabar, former, I think he was treasurer in the J3s as well, outstanding Jamaican. His daughter, of course, the great Ali Atkinson. He tipped me off to this boy being in the field this year, and it's great to see young Pottinger up there.
And of course, he has 2 minutes now before he goes he does his final attempt. Everything is timed, so you can't just stand there for the rest of the day. So we're not ready yet. I'll come back at 5 o'clock, and that's his dad right there.
I last saw Marlon Pottinger in the Champs 100 in 1984, I think it was. And so I'm looking at this gentleman, saying, what if that's him? Thanks very much. Marlon Pottinger, dressed in Texas bright orange, a sensational high school sprinter for Kingston College at Champs in the 1980s. Yeah. Great to see him back on Jamaican soil.
I tell you what, he won't be disappointed, whatever the result is here, because Mackenzie from Kingston College is leading now when clear at 2 meters 06, and his first attempt.
I suppose blood is thicker than purple.
Some people think blood is purple.
It isn't, but I appreciate your loyalty.
I know it isn't, but you can't tell some of them that. Again, folks, welcome to the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. Day 2 of the J3A's Ministry of Sport Sprint Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. We go on Sunday about midday. Just before midday, we end on Sunday. And the youngsters trying to make the under-20 team to Nairobi to the knockout games. And of course, some of the youngsters also trying to make the Olympic team. It's so far, from what we've seen, no matter who goes, we should have quite a competitive team.
I'm looking forward to seeing Akira Nugent. She is a junior. She is under 20 for all of this year, but she is one of the best ladies in the 100-meter hurdles. The Olympic Games and the juniors follow quickly upon each other in track and field, and I'm interested to see what choices she makes.
I saw in NCAAs and she ran like 100 like in 10 minutes apart or something like that, which I thought was kind of strange.
Not what I would have recommended. Champs 101 is really scheduled. It applies at NCAAs as well.
And I was not exaggerating. It was about 10 or 15 minutes.
It was about 10 minutes.
And you could see the exhaustion on her face for the 100-meter final.
I wasn't exaggerating. I've never seen anyone do that.
She was part of the 4x1.
She ran on day 1, she ran 4x1, sprint hurdles 100, and then on day 2, a couple of days later, hurdles and then 100.
Yep.
To Pottage, a final attempt at 2 meters 06 series. And goes clear this time. Clips the bar, but it stays on. And his last 5 attempts, Hubert and Neville, he has managed to clip the bar. This time it stays on.
Well, maybe he has got some of that powerful fortress spirit never to give up, because I would have thought that as the bar went up, he'd find himself in more and more danger.
Right.
But he slid it over, and again, there are no style points in the high jump.
I can't remember how long ago it was. I was watching the pole vault, and he hit the bar. You know, when he fell down, he was just watching it, and eventually it came tumbling down. I was going to say, well, you should give it a. If it doesn't come off in 2 seconds, then you got it. It was so funny.
Yeah. A fantastic event though. And,
What's the rule on it though, Hubert, as far as the bar?
Once it's off, it's off.
Once it's off, it's off.
Once it's off, it's off.
So
we used to think that if you got off the landing bed before the bar tumbled off, then you would get credit with the jump, but that's just not what the rule is.
209 we're going to now.
So this would be a personal best for Pottage if it goes clear.
Yeah, 208 was his personal best. Remind you that they're going to put, well, I'm not sure, I was going to say 2 races together, but 2 age groups. Well, I guess you could say 2 races together.
They're one athletes for both. They're under 18, one athlete, they're under 20, one athlete.
I did hear you guys wrapping up the last segment, that is Dwayne Exall and the colleagues there,
Jordan,
talking about how limited our effort is in those events. I know I had a chat with Bruce a few times about Jamaica not being able, for a number of reasons, to be top class in every single event. But when you look at the records for Jamaica, 800, 15, 3,000, even with Kemai Campbell's great efforts, you're still a little bit behind the 8 ball. And we have to thank Kemai Campbell for bringing it forward into the World Champs final, at the Olympic Games as well, to give it a little touch of respectability and to put the bar somewhere so those who follow have a target to aim at. That. Should they reach a target, Burtis, they were approaching international class. So I have to thank Kemai Campbell for that. But another work to do, Simon Newman, June 20, I think it's 1st, 1977, 145.21 in Helsinki. The 15th, about to start, Steve Green, Commonwealth Games 1994 in Victoria, Canada, 3:39.17, 1994. I think the marathon is Derek Adamson, 2:24 in 1980. Come on.
Remember like an elephant, son.
And by the way, the 1500 meters, only 2 athletes, but they represent 2 different age groups. The under 18 boys, Nathaniel Wallace from St. Elizabeth Technical, you know him by the blue and yellow. And then the man with St. Jago right across the chest, there is Corlando Chambers, representing the under 20 section. So only 2 athletes competing across both age groups for this 1500 meters.
Both schools with outstanding high school traditions in the middle distances. St. Jago Chambers, former Class 3 bronze medalist at championships in the 15, and sets their famous tradition all the way back to the 1980s, that 800 record with Burgess of Fair and Levy of Sets set in 1987, 148, both boys on the line. And Sets and St. Jago, long-term contributors to competition at this level. And we see now with 800, all those 4-8 records by St. Jago, by KC, by Sets and Calabar, 726 at Penn now, gives you a sense that something is about to happen. There's Chambers.
And by the way, can't tell you, at the high jump that Pottage and also Mackenzie both failed at their first attempt at 2 meters 09, as we watch Chambers here leading Nathaniel Wallace of St. Elizabeth Technical. Chambers, the under 20 athlete, Wallace, the under 18 athlete, both competing here.
So what is that Western Champs? What you, I think the term is calling those races, and seemed to do a strange double, 800, 5,000. So he is probably better at this distance in between, where his speed and his strength come and marry together at 3 3/4 laps.
Sticking close to Chambers here is Wallace. The gap was a bit wide prior.
Better every day, better for you, better moments, better together, better memories. All those good times we need. Life is better every day. You can make it better with Team. Better with Team. Life is better every day. You can make it better with Team. Better with Team.
How they move it,
DJ3A Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. Brought to you by
Slow service not keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more detail.
Pass at about 3 minutes 04.
Chambers doesn't want to be beat by the other 18 competitor, and so has heard the bell, put on some speed, and reopen that gap as he heads into the back straightaway. Down the back stretch, the breeze is with him, and so it's a good idea to run as fast as you can with the breeze at your back while conserving some energy to face the wall of breeze when you come into the straightaway.
And Wallace now trying desperately to close the gap on Chambers. This will do him a world of good competing against Chambers, who is an older athlete than he is. The gap now widening as Chambers hits the 110 mark. Wallace with maybe about 120 meters to go now. There's Rolando Chambers from St. Jago in this boys under 20 1500 meters lone competitor. Wallace out of shot, out of sight as Chambers comes across the line. 4 minutes 11.39. And you will see Wallace now starting to come into your shot as he comes across the line. The way at the end of that, you can tell everyone he's the national under 18 champion for the 1500 meters.
67 flat for the last lap for Chambers on your screen. He seemed to, whether he got tired or was biding his time, whatever that was, but when he heard the bell, got moving again to make sure he won the race across the line. I suspect we will take you back to the high jump in just a second. A couple of misses at 209. So
this was the final attempt for Pottinger, Brandon Pottinger, to go clear at 2 meters 09. His best 2 meters 08. So might be a personal best if he can get clear. Here he is now, and again had a little height on his upper body, but then fall flat on the bar, and that's his competition for today.
pretty good effort at what is the record, world record for women, by Steph Costadino from 87, 209, and you can see this young man will soon be able to clear the head in 210. He has the height, doesn't quite have the run-up speed to give him the momentum to stay up in there long enough to get his peak height over the bar. You're sliding across the bar as you go over, but you want to be able to start clearing it with it, you know. When you finish your job, but he has something, and that's Mackenzie. He's taking a try at 209 now.
Will be his third attempt as well. Mackenzie, Aaron Mackenzie from Kingston College, Class 2 high jump champion, went clear at 2.01 meters. That's all it took to earn him the gold that there is the Boys and Girls Athletics Championship.
A modest height, but he beat who was there. Here's a chance to be national champion.
Did 2 meters 05 prior to the championships, and now has gone clear at 2 meters 06. Looking to go clear at 2 meters 09.
A centimeter in the high jump is huge. Needs 3 more now to be national champion.
So here he is, Aaron Mackenzie from Kingston College. Will he go clear? Or he won't?
2 good attempts at 209. Both boys a little slow on the approach run. And Mackenzie, just on your screen now, walking back to our conference. just late on the flick to take those long legs from behind the bar to over it. Little chat there. It's like Jeremy DeLissa, the jumps coach at Kingston College, and Erin Allen. So many good horizontal jumpers coming out of both programs because of the work of Coach DeLissa. And here he's having a constructive talking to with Mackenzie, who's all ears.
And by the way, that completes, and he's the champion because he went clear, I think, on his first attempt at 2 meters 06.
If your service looks like this, it's time to switch. Slow service now keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Speed over to Digicel and get a 30-day Prime one with unlimited YouTube, social media, and end-use data. Plus, get enough more data to enjoy more of the movies, music, and sports you want with your Digicel lifestyle apps. If you're on the go, you can't afford to be slow. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network and keep your number. Visit a Digicel store today or message us at Digicel Jamaica on social for more details. Digicel, better together.
The JAAA Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. Brought to you by
Slow service now keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more details.
Anytime soon? Yeah, man, yeah, definitely.
We should have the 200 meters coming up, which should be the next event of the track, I think, Ronaldo. About 11:30. The 200 girls and boys, under 17 and under 18.
And let's see, Burtis, those 200s, girls under 17, 5 entries in each of the 2 first round races. So if if 2 people drop out for any reason, then you go directly to the final later on in the program.
A couple of those ladies would have gone in the 100 meters last evening.
And might appreciate they are.
So just to give you that under 18 girls final again, Rochelle Solomon from United in third, Brittany Johnson from Capitol in second, and Britannia Johnson from Capitol in third. In first, 14.55 of the winning throw. So nothing happening right now, but we're getting ready for the discus. So Matthew Blake from Calabar is not there. And Dwan James Earl from Kingston Technical is also not there in the discus. So that comes up right now. So again, welcome everyone. Wanna watch us from OneSmartMedia.com. Well, $3.99 US per day. We have 2 days left. And then you have $6.99 for the season pass. And we go on till 8:15 tonight. I think I'm going to work the same time tomorrow night, and then on Sunday we end just before noon, so you could see the officials setting up on the far side for the 200. But this discusses what's happening right now. Ronaldo's with me, so too Hubert.
The under 18 boys discus throw event. It's from St. Jago. That's Shaquan Dunn from St. Jago. First athlete in the circle.
I think it's just a warm-up. Yeah.
Getting that out of the way. Hubert spoke about the young ladies from Capitol. They would have gone in the discus throw event yesterday as well. So back-to-back days of competition. Britannia second in the discus throw yesterday, 42.16, and her sister Brittany third, 41.10. Of course, Brittany was fourth in the shot put in class 2, third in the discus throw class 2. Her sister eighth in the shot put and also the discus throw event. So, and both athletes would have been there and thereabouts at the corporate area championships as well. So consistency, they're both there and very close to each other.
And great when you go home, mommy doesn't have to console anybody because everybody has a medal. If you've grown up with a sporting brother, as many of us have, it's a tough deal when one comes home crying
what comes up slightly. We saw the girls class 200 championships where the sisters got separated by the false start rule, and it was pain on both sides. So it's much better when both young ladies go home to the Johnson house with medals. Everybody's happy. Everybody's
A
smiling.
couple of years when I coached St. George's College, my brother Vernon coached Kingston College.
I remember.
We played each other 4 times and we tied the 4 times.
Set up, right? I know the family well, no set up, of course.
My mother said she didn't know who to support, so she was thinking of getting a light blue and purple shirt. But we tied 2 Rover Cup games, 2 Married Cup games, and we tied the 4 times. And luckily for me, I actually ended up winning the competition while he was coach at Kingston College. So
I heard lots of whispers about the great matriarch of your family.
Yeah.
I'm sure she is looking down at you proudly, singing at your work.
I pray. So again, beautiful sunshine here. We had some, well, the
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but we can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control, all so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
The JAAA Ministry of Sport Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. Brought to you by
Slow service not keep. Switch to Jamaica's fastest network. Visit a Digicel store today or message us for more details. Digicel, better together.
It reminded me of Champs Friday 2013. We had a lot of sprint records on that particular Friday night because the same circumstances occurred. Here's a discuss.
still just warming up.
Still practice. So, but yes, it does create for the sprinter just on the physical evidence over time with the synthetic track.
And I hear you, and I've been told this many times. Unlike a football field, it works the other way. The heavier the field, the slower the ball moves.
And you know, Curtis, with modern football fields, and this includes NFL football fields as well, which are AstroTurf, which may be, as in years go, more and more like the synthetic running surface. It may be that extra bounce will become more and more similar to what happens in track and field.
But strange enough, on the AstroTurf, they need the water. They actually water it. They water it.
I see it in football.
Well, this surface here.
I see it blatantly in hockey, where they use an AstroTurf surface in hockey, and they're always watering. Right. Sometimes in between,
right? They do that
before the match, in between halftime. This is amazing.
This surface here, it takes a lot of licks, but this is an amazing surface. It's sand-based, and folks, if it rains, the water goes straight through. You'll walk on it, no puddles, because the sand is there to hold it. It's the best, I think, with this stadium and Savannah Park are the 2 best surfaces in the country, I think, for everything, but especially for footballs, because how many games you've seen and you see pouring rain and you don't see any puddles, that the game goes on and it's not calm.
Every time someone has this discussion, I remember Concert Spring. Playing a few games there, watching a few games there.
Well, the reason for that, and it's the same thing. I mean, we get good reports about St. John's College, but even at St. John's College, because it's not sand-based, the water stays on it. The water stays on the top. The good thing about St. John's College is it has a little incline almost, so the water runs off.
I tend to see a little more Barca-style tick-attack at Sabina Park when there's football there. Because I'm a huge football fan as well.
Because
and you can see people.
You're a Liverpool supporter.
Oh yes, 19-6. Can't fight that. It's huge.
It's not sad at all.
It's huge. It's huge.
The sadness is right here. So it's a brand new.
Great club, wonderful achievements, one of the best teams in the world.
I'm tempted to say Arsenal because I want to hear Hubert's response.
Another great club. but on the numbers, not quite there in that trophy case. But there's some wonderful teams. There's a Frank McClintock, Charlie George, Malcolm McDowell team in the 1970s.
Well, I tell you, outside of Manchester United, they could match any other Premier League club. I think they've won 4. I think Chelsea may have won 5 or something like that. But there's by the way, Ronaldo said that because apart from the fact that he knows that I'm an Arsenal fan, I have on an Arsenal shirt. So he's trying to give me a hard time, but I'm good. I mean, in certain things, you either win or you lose. So when they come second, third, or fourth,
I think what happened with the Arsenal team, particularly Jamaica, that late 1990s team, George Graham to Arsene Wenger, with Thierry coming in, played some special football, and it has an imprint on a lot of fans. I'm a big Dennis Bergkamp fan, for example. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but Bergkamp was a
sensational Wenger fan, and I think he's proven now that they probably shouldn't have got rid of it. We're still not the competition yet, folks. This is still just practice throws we're looking at here.
I think in the stadium in Jamaica for this weekend is Roger Sona. Clemson, second at the NCAA championships, so their personal best there, 61.94. When he was in Jamaica, San Diego, proclaimed that his hero is Frederick Davis, not San Diego, but just a standout, and he's here hoping that he can get to 66 meters and get to the Olympic team alongside his hero, Frederick Davis, who is also over 66 this season, despite coming back from a hand injury. Left hand, he's right-handed, but it hurts him in the weight room. He just had to gradually nurse his hand back to full strength so he can do the weight work that gives him the power to put the discus at 7 meters.
Back to the Olympic Games just a bit, and again, you're still not ready yet. What about the field outside of Tajay Gale?
I think we can medal. The main field medals on the men's side are in the discus. Just spoke about Dacus. If he's at 100%, I just saw Sal, the world champion, throwing in Sweden last week. He's in good form right now, but Dacus at full power on a good day could be Olympic champion. Tajay Gale, little knee wobble, spoke about it publicly last week, but if he's right, a good chance to make it count for the first time, the Olympic champion in the long jump. On the girls' side, women's side now, women's triple jump, Ricketts and Kimberly Williams in PR shape right now, threatening to be both on the podium. Women's discus, Shade Lawrence, 6-7 meters this season. Now with the discus results, sometimes the meets are in good fields. When it's in a stadium which is enclosed like ours, the breeze can't come across and keep this in the air. So you have to go on head-to-head to figure out who's the best and so on. But still, 67 is 67. She's put herself in with a chance to move her from being in qualifying in Rio to be in the final in Tokyo. So, shot put, 19 meters plus is the Dana Thomas stud, second in the last World Championships. Pan Am champion, Commonwealth champion, beat Larry Adams to be Commonwealth champion. A chance has changed coaches, is not quite as consistent as before, but in the field events, it only takes 2 throws, one to get out of qualifying, to get to the final, and one more big one in that series of 6. So another chance there.
So that's 5.
In the long jump, Shanice Porter, in the finals in Doha, has had a recurrence of ankle trouble that she's had. But she's jumped the PR this season, and on a given day, Tashana Hickling has run sprints to sharpen her speed. Pan Am runs in 2019. She has the physique, has the speed, has Marlon Gale coaching her, and has the equipment to become one of the world's best. Will it be in time for Tokyo? Time will tell.
So, so we could end up with 3 or 4 medals in the field.
Let's see what Sharika Jackson does.
Yeah.
Her departure, maybe, from the 400 to the 100 meters, carries coals to Newcastle from a team perspective. Exciting for her and for us watching individually, but it takes out a medal prospect, I think, maybe at 400 meters for Jamaica.
Okay.
And so that's the shift. But let's see what she does through the rest of the meet, and we can go and see what will happen.
By the way, the reason that we're not seeing anything on track or in the field is because the next event, the discus throw for under 18 points, that's set to go off at 11:30. So to the 200 meters, and that's the reason why we're not seeing anything.
I don't know if my producer would want us to take a little break, because that's still 10 minutes that we won't see any competition. So we will, and I know she's constantly speaking with me, so she will tell me in a second. But let me just welcome you once again. It is a J3A's Ministry of Sports Supreme Ventures National Senior and Junior Championships. We're at the National Senior in Kingston, Jamaica. You heard Hubert tell you that was big back in 1962. The Commonwealth Games here.
CSE Games in 1962. Commonwealth Games here in 66. Both of them multi-sport games in this complex that where the stadium is the center of. Swimming, diving.
It's called Independence Park.
Absolutely.
This old area, the Stadium East, there was a Stadium West field at one stage, which was like a dirt bowl. Now there's a basketball court. There's a multi-purpose court there for, I think, Special Olympics. And we have the National Arena, we have the swimming pool, we have netball courts here, we have the Indoor Sports Center where we had the World Championship, I think back in 2003, the Netball World Championship.
Yes, in what is now, well, it's still a new building.
Right, so it's held there, so that's the reason it's called Independence Park, and I think it covers the stadium in Trelawney. This is also run by
Independence
Park Limited.
Independence Park Limited.
IPL.
Yeah, Mr. Major Desmond Brown, the general manager for that. So it's a wonderful stadium, and they just redid the track, and the field looks good. Premier League starts tomorrow. There will be games here, not this weekend, obviously, because of this, but the Premier League, local Premier League football starts tomorrow, and there will be games here. Stadium is International Stadium. All right, we're going to take a break. As you can see, there's nothing happening, and as soon as it looks like something is about to happen, but they're on time, so that should be about 11:30. We'll come back here, so please stay tuned. TVJSN, OneSparkMedia.com. So go.
I enjoy shopping at Project Lifestyle.
They have a very, very wide range of products here.
All products very effective. The products here are delicious. They are golden.
I test the word that this product. Oh my goodness. I shop before. This is where I shop. The customer service here is amazing. Oh my gosh, you need to be here. This is the place. They have everything here. Thank you for the best all the time.
RJR Arena Group is a cross-country invasion. Trelawney Parish created in 1770 and named after Sir William Trelawney, the then governor of Jamaica.
That's right. So therefore you have
one popular feature of the parish is the Marthabury River, named after a village it's located. There visitors can peacefully coast down the 3 Mile River on a handmade bamboo raft. Another popular feature of the parish is the copper country, Jamaica's largest remaining contiguous rainforest and home to many indigenous plants and animals.
Welcome to Trelawney. I'll tell you about Copper Country, which is predominantly in Trelawney South. Here you'll see an amazing landscape with conical hillocks, sinks, underground aquifers, short flowing streams, and waterfalls. And communities nested within is an amazing history related to marine culture and a part of the spinal ridge of Jamaica that runs from a compound in the west to Portland in the east. So the Copper Country is a watershed, and it basically supplies some 5 major rivers: Great River, the Black River, Marthabury, Rio Bueno, and the Wise are rivers that come out of Copper Country. And that supplies 40% of Jamaica's groundwater, fresh groundwater. Right. So it's a significant watershed and a critical area for the water supply, fresh water supply for the island state. This part of Jamaica is a predominantly yam producing area, and the yam cultivation here supplies an export market
and the local market for fresh yams. And it is an industry that generates some $32 million US per annum coming from yam exports from this area. The economy of the South Trelawney is driven by yam production, and you'll see vast fields of yams within what we call the bottomlands of coffee country, between the hillocks, where the very fertile soil is. And our farmers go there, they produce the yams, and they transport them out by donkeys, they dig them out of the mounds, and they leave them to make the next crop. And a day like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right through to Friday are heavy reaping days and planting days for the crop. And it drives the economy of the South. So you'll find that people here are pretty independent. They have their own fields.
Good day. My name is David Smith, farmer of the Hobbs community, Comfortable district. I've been a farmer for more than 2 years now. As you can see, farming is one of the most essential and important things, especially in Jamaica. Here in the coffee country, where we have the natural red dirt, which is farming, the soil, right, is very rich in nutrients.
The soils here are red dirt, what's called red terra rosa type soils, which are ideal for yam production. But in that same soil type is deposits of bauxite. So on top you have agricultural production because of this deposit of arable soil. Then in the subsoil you have bauxite deposits just above the limestone, which carries the water in the aquifers.
Our yam, we mostly plant the round leaf yam. In relation to our yam and other yam, our yam is very productive, especially in these.
Guys, I'm just checking to see if it is that they're going on lunchtime now. If so, then I will break, go on lunchtime with them, and come back when they're due to come back. So as soon as I figure that out, that's what's gonna happen.
Because they are grown on this red terra rosa soil, which is excellent in the flavor and the richness of the product. So a lot of people come here, particularly exporters, to get this yam to boost their export supplies to the marketplace, and you would have people
Cross Country Invention 2021, the best of our island, is presented by the Outshire Greener Communications Group and our partners, Digicel Foundation, Caribbean Trees, Bosco's, the Road Safety Council, Graduate School of Medical Science, the Ministry of Justice, Gateway Credit Union, Stewart's Automotive Group, Garrett Trading, Bulwark Insurance Agency, and Guardian General. Turn on to RETV's Listen every Saturday for Fame Frequency. I'm Never Been Sue. I'm Jenny. I'm your host, Talia. Let's go! Tune in and enjoy the party at your first virtual entertainment zone, featuring DJs from Hits, Radio Jamaica, and the Blazing Fame FM.
Watch and learn. Watch and
Drop the vibes and party responsibly.
Powered by Smoke Smash. How you smash must be 18 years old. Drink responsibly.
Welcome to St.
St. James is a suburban parish located on the northwestern end of the island of Jamaica. Its capital is Montego Bay, and it was officially named the second city of Jamaica in 1981. It's best known as a tourism hotspot. However, the cross-country team ventured to a unique spot in the parish. We went to a country cottage where they boast of creating an experience that only can be experienced there. We visited Rockland's Bird Sanctuary.
Welcome to St. James. We're here at Rockland Bird Sanctuary. It's located in Ancholy, St. James. The Bird Sanctuary is a special experience. It's a one-of-a-kind experience that you will have tonight. We have hummingbirds that come and sit on your finger. We have finches that will be out of your hand. We have over 16 different species of birds at one time. We have woodpeckers, we have orioles, we have Caribbean doves, we have finches, all grass fruit, we have habitat. We have 4 different stages of culinary schedule.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna cut the live. It's seeming like they're gone to lunch or nothing is happening. I will be back live as soon as they return, maybe 2 o'clock. They're about, it's 11:30 Jamaican time now. So as soon as they return, I will go back live. See you shortly. Also remember to support the cause and all. Okay? So see you shortly.
The persons that we get here, they're all bird lovers. They come here just to get their birds. Mostly just to get the requisite on their ticket. That's the experience that you can get.
Cross Country Invasion 2021, the best of our island, is presented by the Alchar Greener Communications Group and our partners, Digicel Foundation, Harrison Trees, Costco, the Road Safety Council, Harris School of Medicine.